Hi there. Today we are going to talk about 3D shapes. Now, last week in grade 1, we were learning about 2D shapes, which means shapes that are flat, like a circle or a square or a triangle or a rectangle. But today we're going to talk about 3D shapes, and 3D means three-dimensional, and I have a poster here to show you. 3D shapes are shapes that have three dimensions. That's what the D stands for. So they have width or depth. You can see that here. They have length and they have height, which means that they stand up and that you can actually hold them in your hand. Now, some of the attributes of a 3D shape, when we describe them, we can say that they have faces, which means the flat part of a 3D shape, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Or we can say they have a vertex or a vertices, and that is where the three faces meet in one corner. So that's like the point on a shape or a corner of an object. And then we can say that they have edges, and that's where the two faces meet. That's the line that they meet. And I'm going to show you some specific examples in just a minute. So I have a whole bucket of 3D objects here that I want to show you. But along with those objects, I have some posters that have some facts about each object. So the first object I want to show you, 3D object, is a cube. Now here I have an example of a cube. And when you see a cube, the first thing you might think of is it looks like a box. And that's true, because a cube has 6 faces, and now the face part on a cube is the flat side. So we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top, 6 on the bottom. So it has 6 faces. That's the flat part of the shape. It has 8 vertices or corners. We can count those corners. The vertices are the points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 vertices. All of the faces of a cube are actually, what shape do you see? Do you see a square? Well, all 6 faces are the shape of a square. And a 3D shape is three-dimensional. It is not flat. As you can see from this cube, it is not flat. It is like a box. I can hold it in my hand. Is there anything else that you can see in your room that reminds you of a cube or is the shape of a cube? I want you to try and find something. Okay, so that is a cube, and that's one of our common 3D objects. All right, the next one, I've got a fun one here. This one is, it's a ball, looks like an orange, but do you know what shape this is? This is called a sphere. Now, when you first see it, you might think, well, it's a circle. But it's not a circle because it is not flat. A circle is round, like a sphere, but it is flat. Whereas a sphere is like a ball. So on my poster here, it says, a sphere has no faces, 0 faces, because there are no flat sides on this ball. It is completely round. There are no vertices, which means there are no points, and it is curved all the way around. Do you think this shape might roll? I'm going to find out. Yep, it rolls. Okay, the next one, so that is called a sphere. We've done a cube, we've done a sphere. Oh, I bet you can guess the next shape. I'm actually going to hold it up, and I want to see if you can say the name before I hold up the poster. Do you know what this is? Reminds me of something. Something you might put a scoop of ice cream on.
Anna, follow me. I'll do one.
There's an announcement. And it reminds me of something you might put ice cream on. Or maybe like a party hat. Do you know the name of this 3D shape? This is called a cone, like an ice cream cone. Now, on my poster here, it says a cone has one circular flat face. Remember, the face is the flat part. If I turn it upside down here, you can even see the word cone. Can you see this shape? It's a circle. It has one vertice or point. Do you see that right here? And it has one curved face. So this is not a flat face. It is one curved face that goes all the way around the cone. And look at the examples at the bottom. A cone, an ice cream cone, and a party hat. Those were the examples that I just used. So let's review. Cube. Well, my sphere is rolling across the room. So the ball is the sphere and a cone. Okay, the next one. Let me see. Oh, I've got a good one. Oh, I'm going to cover the words so you don't see it. Do you think you know what this one is called? If you said cylinder, you were right. So a cylinder, it reminds me of a can of soup because it has two circle faces. So let's take a look. One at the bottom and one at the top. Two circle faces. It has 0 vertices or corners. As you can see, there are no corners, no vertices. It has one curved face. So you can see this part here. If I were to unroll this and make this flat, this would be one big face, but it's curved. And then down here, take a look at some examples of some things that are cylinders. Maybe your crayon. Or this one looks like a drink. Maybe it's a pop or a drink, looks like a drink from the movie theater. So that one is called a cylinder. Okay. Ooh, we're getting into the tricky ones now. Are you ready for the tricky ones? Okay, here we go. What do you think this one's called? If you guessed pyramid, you are right. Now, on my poster, it says a square-based pyramid. And I want to show you why this is called a square-based pyramid. If I flip my pyramid to the bottom, what do you see? That's right, you see a square. Well, I actually have another pyramid here that I want to show you. And they look similar when I hold them up. But look at the base of them. Look at the bottom. Do you see the difference? This pyramid is a square-based pyramid because it has a square at the bottom. This pyramid is a triangular-based pyramid because what shape is at the bottom? A triangle. So, even though they are both pyramids, they look similar. They have different shapes for bases. And that means they actually have a different amount of faces. So I'm going to show you how they are different. Well, a square-based pyramid has 5 faces. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, there's one at the back, 4, and then the bottom, 5. A triangular-based pyramid, let's count those faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are only 4 faces in a triangular-based pyramid, whereas a square-based pyramid has 5. Now, on a square-based pyramid, we have 5 vertices or corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the back. On a triangular-based pyramid, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, less vertices, just like less faces. And the reason that is because a square has 4 sides and a triangle has 3 sides. Okay, now this part is also really interesting. Like our cube has 6 faces, but every face is made up of a square. Do you see how they are all squares? Well, in a square-based pyramid, their faces are not all squares. Let's take a look at what we have. What shape would this face be? That's a triangle. Another triangle. What about the bottom? A square. Now, as a triangular-based pyramid, we've got triangle, 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 and a small triangle on the bottom. So again, those faces are different. And if you can think of anything in your house that is the shape of a pyramid, maybe a square-based pyramid or a triangular-based pyramid, I'm looking around my classroom and I actually don't see really anything that is those shapes. But I know that if you were to learn about Egypt and you were to see and learn about the Great Pyramids of Egypt, you would see these shapes. Sometimes it could be the shape of like a roof on a house. So see if you can find some things in your house that are pyramid shaped. Okay, oh, I like this one. This is a big one. This is my favorite one to say. I'm going to hold it up. Do you think you know what this 3D shape is called? It's a big, big, big word. It's fun to say. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to say it. Rectangular, so like rectangle, rectangular, and prism. So say it again. Rectangular prism. Now, a rectangular prism is similar to a cube where it looks like a box. It has 1, 2, 3, and one in the back, 4, 5, 6 faces. But what's different between that and a cube is it has 2 square faces and 4 rectangular faces. So that's what's different. It has the same amount of faces and the same amount of vertices. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if I look around my classroom, I can see a lot of objects that are rectangular prisms because I can see boxes, I can see some bins, I can see all sorts of things that are the shape of a rectangular prism. And you might actually find things in your house, like maybe, I know, a present. Often when we open presents, they are rectangular, the shape of a rectangular prism. So see what you can find in your house that are the shapes of a rectangular prism. Now I have one more that I don't actually have a card for that I just want to show you because it's similar to the rectangular prism, but it is called a triangular prism. And it's long, it's made of rectangle faces. So this is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, and this is a rectangle. But the difference is the faces on the end are triangles. So it is called, again, big, big word, triangular prism. So see if you can say that word, triangular prism. Okay, so all of these shapes, we're going to do a quick review, and then you have lots of activities in our Week at a Glance this week that you can do to help you learn about shapes.
If you have time, I'll be in your room. See you there.
Sorry, we've got lots going on today at Proby. Okay, so let's review some of these shapes. Are you ready? Do you remember what this one is? Cube. What about this one? That's an easy one. Cone. What about this one? That's a cylinder. And this one? A pyramid. Or to be more specific, a square-based pyramid. And this one is another pyramid, but a triangular-based pyramid. And here we have our rectangular prism. And the last one, the triangular prism. Oh, I shouldn't say the last one. We also have a sphere, but it's rolling across my classroom floor. Do you remember the shape of a sphere? It's like a ball. So I hope that helps you to learn some of those tricky names for some of those 3D objects. And we hope that you have fun with the activities that we have put out in our Week at a Glance this week. Thanks for learning with me.